Hello and welcome to Everything Explained. Today we're tackling a topic that often feels whispered, misunderstood, or taboo: porn addiction. People ask, is it real? How does it work? And what can someone do if they're worried about their own use or a loved one's? The honest answer is that it can be real for some people, and it's more than just choosing to look at something on the internet. It's about patterns, urges, and the way it shapes daily life. Porn addiction isn't just watching porn. It's a pattern of sexual behavior that takes over other parts of life. It often starts with curiosity, then becomes a habitual coping strategy for stress, loneliness, or boredom. Over time, the brain starts to crave the rush, the quick hit of arousal paired with relief from tension. When that relief comes with a price, distance from partners, lost sleep, or damaged work, it can still feel hard to stop because the brain has learned to expect that reward. Warning signs include spending more time than intended, secrecy or lying about use, trying to cut back and failing, and continuing despite negative consequences. People may notice that their mood dips between binges, or that sex feels less meaningful unless it's intertwined with porn. Some also develop tolerance, needing more explicit material or novel content to achieve the same arousal. These signs don't prove addiction on their own, but when they pile up, it's a clue something is off. Why does it happen? There's a mix of biology, psychology, and life context. Dopamine, a brain chemical tied to reward, plays a big role. Repeated quick hits condition the brain to expect instant gratification. The circuits can become a habit loop: trigger, boredom, stress, urge, ritual, opening the site, reward, arousal, relief, and then a feeling of relief that fades into guilt or shame, which can push you back toward the same behavior to cope. Think of it like snacking on candy all day. It provides a short-lived lift, but too many sweets can dull your energy, ruin sleep, and make it hard to enjoy healthier meals. Or imagine a video game you can't put down, the score keeps pulling you back. The point isn't moral judgment, but whether the pattern costs you your time, your relationships, and your sense of well-being. Besides time and sleep, there can be relationship trouble. Trust erodes when one partner hides material or when intimacy feels tied to pornography. There can be sexual dissatisfaction, performance anxiety, or distorted views of real bodies and consent. There are also practical risks: exposure to illegal material, unsafe online behavior, and in some cases, financial or job consequences if porn use interferes with responsibilities. It helps to know there are paths to recovery. Evidence supports approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps you recognize triggers and replace harmful habits with healthier ones. Mindfulness and acceptance-based therapies can reduce shame and break the automatic reaction to urges. Some people benefit from couples therapy if a partner is willing. Support groups and accountability approaches can offer connection without judgment. Practical steps include setting clear limits, turning off devices during vulnerable times, developing a routine that fills your evenings with meaningful activities, and building healthy stress relievers such as exercise, sleep, and hobbies. Not everyone who uses porn becomes addicted. Addiction is about patterns that cause significant harm and persist despite attempts to cut back. For some people, porn is a problem; for others, it's not. If you're worried about yourself or someone you care about, you're not alone, and help is available. Start with a non-judgmental conversation with a trusted person, a clinician, or a counselor. The goal isn't to shame but to understand and heal. Many clinics use questions to see how often use interferes with life, time spent, failed attempts to cut back, distress or loss of control. The exact labels aren't as important as whether the pattern is hurting someone's life. You don't need a diagnosis to start making changes. If you notice harm, talking to a clinician or a trusted counselor can help you find practical steps to reduce risk and restore balance. If you're supporting a friend or partner, start with curiosity and care. Avoid shaming, which tends to shut down conversation. Use I statements to share your concerns. For example, I miss our time together when screens take over. Encourage professional help, offer to accompany them, and agree on small, shared routines that replace the urge to binge. Recovery is possible, but it takes time, patience, and real support from people who believe in the person who's struggling. Finally, remember that porn use and addiction exist on a spectrum. Some people find relief from heavy use without it turning into a problem. For others, it becomes a daily battle. The goal of help is to reduce harm, restore balance, and protect safety, not to shame. If you're listening and you can relate, you're already on the path toward understanding and change. Take that first step today, and let healing begin.